is Kimiko Hirota. I graduated from Shadle Park in 2016 and I go to school now at Stanford. This is Stern Field, which is where I hang out when it's sunny. And right over here is my dorm, Casa Sabata, where I live. My frosh dorm is actually right there, Twain. And then that's Hoover Tower, which is a very popular kind of tourist attraction that people go to when they come and visit here. You can go up to the top and see the entire campus, which is 8,000 acres. So I think it's one of the largest campuses in the world. But here I'm a senior now and I study sociology and comparative studies and race and ethnicity. And Ms. Gunzel asked me to answer some questions for you all. But first, congratulations for being at this event. It's really special to be a high achiever at Shadle, so good job. But some of the first questions she asked were, what drove you to your university? So I came to Stanford for Advent weekend and I was very surprised that I had gotten in the first place. And I visited, walked around, and it's obviously very beautiful here, so I loved that. I loved that it was sunny, but also it was mostly just the people that I had met were very interesting. Very curious and very driven, and so that's what kind of compelled me to come here. And then the other thing was that there was two events here. One of them was like an Asian American community welcome, and the other one was a Chicanx Latinx welcome. And that was the first time that I had ever been in spaces with people who had looked like me, and so I was really motivated to come here because of the diversity. So the next question is most memorable SP moment. I would say it's one that all of you are still looking forward to, but it's the gauntlet at the very end when all of your teachers come out and create a kind of tunnel that you get to walk through and say goodbye to everyone. It was really special and I was really grateful to be able to thank all my teachers because I had so many good ones. So I think that was really worthwhile and you should look forward to it. Maybe what I wish I knew before leaving for college. I think I wish I had known that there's a big jump between high school and college, like academically, socially, and otherwise, and so I think definitely like establishing a good home base is important, so make sure you're still talking to all your friends from home, talking to your parents and stuff, especially if you're like out of state or going far away. I think it's really important because you'll miss them. How did AP classes prepare you or help the process? I think my AP classes, I took like AP English with Mrs. Farnsworth and AP Lit with Mr. Archer, and then also took AP Capstone, so AP Seminar and AP Research with Mr. Harmon. And I think all those classes actually very directly helped a lot of what I do now as I study sociology and ethnic studies. So much of that is research and writing, and so specifically the AP Capstone course was the first time I was able to do my own research and my own project, and so I went out into the Spokane community and was interviewing like older folks about their kind of social relationships and kind of was surveying them, and that's a lot of the work that I do now. So over this past summer for my honors thesis, I was interviewing immigration attorneys and government officials and stuff in South Texas at the US-Mexico border, and so I think that pretty directly applies to what I've been able to do now in that kind of writing. And then specifically those timed writes that you have to do for your AP Lit or your AP Research whatever classes are actually very helpful, because last night I was up right before midnight, which was the deadline, writing this memo, so it comes in handy even though it sucks at the time. The next question is 21st century skills that have helped with your college success. I don't know if I have any of them. 21st century skills. I think I do a lot of research, and so I think that's something that I started doing at Shadle. So like by the time I was a freshman during my winter quarter, I was doing research for a professor, and he was having me write a literature review about race and culture. So I think it was something that was directly pretty applicable, and I've also been able to work at the King Institute for Research as a student assistant, so I was looking at Washington Post archives in 1965, and I think that was something that I was able to learn that skill set through Shadle. My general advice to high school students making post-secondary decisions. I would say follow your gut, do as much research as you can with your schools, not just like financial package wise, but also like what kind of environment you want to be in. Talk to your friends and shoot high. Don't limit yourself. Don't think that you can't go to a private school just because the tuition looks really high. Oftentimes they'll end up having better financial aid packages than state schools. So apply widely and shoot your shot. Thanks.